But what makes this 2021 version of Superman's life a little different is that the middle-aged Lois and Clark have twin teenage boys. And Chris, I know it's not real, I know that. But given what you've told me about the complexity of Earthlings of different species swapping genes, what would it take for an alien and a human to produce children? Is that even possible?
It depends. So there is something called hybrid vigor, where two species that even have different numbers of chromosomes can sometimes, make a child or make a baby. It happens in fruit flies. It happens, you think of like horses and donkeys, for example, and mules. We know it's possible. It's usually rare, as evidenced by people who, if you can do it in cell culture in a dish, or even if you look in the animal kingdom, it usually doesn't lead to an embryo. But if you, the same way we talked about mitochondrial donors, like if you know which genetic components you need to swap out or improve or change, it's not impossible, especially if we had exquisite control of whole chromosomes that you could move around and modify, which we have some control today, but it's only going to get better. I'm going to say it's today hard, but not necessarily impossible. And I think in the future it'll be, complex, but manageable of a problem, assuming their DNA even is made of the same material as our DNA. Of course, there's a lot of assumptions about all this, but I'm an optimist on the technology because again, we can see it now. If you asked this question 30, 40 years ago, we barely knew what a karyotype was or how to use it diagnostically. We didn't know what the genetic code, even what was comprising the human genome or other genomes for that matter. So there was so much we didn't know. It would have been very much a guess. But now we could, break. And we do this a lot with cell lines. You see which piece of a gene is contributing the most towards killing a cell or keeping it alive, or what is contributing to two cells even sort of coming together at all. We can go, section by section and pull out the sections that provide what you want or don't, and then remove them. So it's a solvable challenge, I think, actually, in today's genetics world.
Or maybe just Kryptonians and humans have the same number of chromosomes, or maybe Lois and Clark used IVF.
Right. Maybe they did. Or, you can even look at like humans and chimps. There's a difference of chromosome too, where it's fused in one species and not in the other. And so in some cases, like we're very close to chimps, obviously about 6 million years diverged, and all the chromosomes are very close, but one of them fused. And so it's like, well, that's a pretty small difference. Maybe that's all you need for it to work for Lewis and Clark potentially.